right, folks, we're gonna do a short whirlwind tour of the Maglev Rail Museum here in Nagoya. Don't have a lot of time before the museum closes. And I'm also trying to make this part of my trip using the JR Pass a little more about experiencing and a little less about filming. That said, you'll get a nice idea of what this place has to offer and why it's worth stopping in Nagoya to go to it. For one thing, you get to take the Aonomi line down to the museum. I have that line up on one of my videos from last year, and it's just a really cool elevated train line with awesome views of the very industrious city of Nagoya. That's the maglev train itself. Did a first run through this place, and I did something I don't normally do, which is I synced up to do the audio tour, and it's really well produced. Each piece of rolling stock has its own entry. It's really easy to navigate. And then there's multiple sub-entries that tell you facts about that particular rolling stock. From these really old trains, some of which were brought over from the US and England before Japan had the technology and manufacturing base to make their own, to, you know, these super advanced Shinkansen. I would say the envy of the world, but I do know that China is running active maglev passenger trains. It must be a bit of envy. But Japan should get there. This is a decommissioned version of the famous Dr. Yellow, which is a train built on the Shinkansen platform that was used to test out the tracks and systems. So an actual rail doctor car. There is a Shinkansen that runs these days that has that livery. The modern Dr. Yellow. Once again, if things are a little shaky, they prefer to have no selfie sticks, tripods, and I think the gimbal is going to fall under that category, so I just left it behind. It's another really well laid out museum. Very easy to get around, very accessible. Lots of elevators, ramps. You can't go inside all of the rolling stock, but you can go inside quite a few of them. And some of the interiors, especially like the classic interiors, are beautiful to behold. There's also quite a few simulators. You can simulate regular trains. There's a Shinkansen simulator that I did earlier. on beginner mode. If I'm ever lucky enough to come back, I'll try intermediate. This steam locomotive apparently at one point was the one that would pull the Emperor's carriages. Like I said, this is just going to be a short video. Show you these liveries, a couple of these interiors. This being one of my favorites. Give you a glimpse of their diorama. Once again, very relaxing. There's a little desk over there where you can reserve a spot to do one of the simulators. This is the area where they work on the model trains for the diorama. Miniaturized Tokyo, including our old friend the Sky Tree. Fuji in the distance. They have these fun little screens interspersed that have zoomed in on some of the detail of these miniatures, and it's very impressive. The Nagoya Rock Festival. It'd probably be a lot of fun, except I'm sure it's during the summer, and I'm sure the humidity would be rough for me. Let's go upstairs and get you a view of the rolling stock floor before I conclude this video. The staff are all very efficient and kind here. One of the docents named Stacy helped me get that Shinkansen into Nagoya Station on time in my simulator. But just barely. They have a history section, kids play area to eat. There's a delicatation, which if you've been to any of the major stations where the Shinkansen runs, you know they're often on the platforms and in the stations selling ikebin, train bento. Some of the bento even come in little special Shinkansen boxes. I had a bento earlier. So this is the place. Doesn't have as many exhibits or quite as many things to do as the Railway Museum at Omiya. But if you're particularly interested in Shinkansen, you need to come to this place. Definitely worth a visit. Let's say goodbye to Dr. Yellow. Bye, Dr. Yellow. See you next time.